My name's Dave Boisclair. I've been coming to Victory Church for a long time now, since I was about 10 or 11 years old. So over 20 years. I remember being young and getting really involved right off the beginning. And one thing that I got involved in was tech. And so one of the very first jobs I ever had was doing like the overhead slides and clear paper, you project the words up on the wall. And that was before we did computers, basically. And one of the funny things about that job was people who would get into worship and they're supposed to be moving the slide, and they would have their eyes closed and hands up, and then everyone else was like wondering like, what's the next song, because it wasn't like slid properly. But yeah, I started doing that. It wasn't something that I was planning on doing, but there was an opportunity, so I took it. And later on, I got involved in sound, and yeah, ever since I've been volunteering. Even in youth group, I helped. I'd pick up kids for youth when I had my license, things like that. And now we have quite a different look. We upgraded to computer years ago. I came on staff at the church. At that point, we had one computer, 3 screens, one sound guy. Just a skeleton crew. We started live streaming years ago, and now that's a pretty big deal, right? So we stream everything online, and God has given us more and more opportunities. And now we have over 40 volunteers. I have 2 people who work for me now during the week. And it started off, just volunteering at that overhead slide projector, and I had a great time doing that, and it wasn't even, I never pictured myself going this way in ministry. It wasn't something that I had planned on, but I just did what was before me, what God had given me, and yeah, He's been faithful to give me more as I have been faithful to serve Him in what He gave me. With COVID, we were already live streaming beforehand, but we really ramped up our online into a ministry. So it wasn't just streaming a service any longer, but we were trying to do church online, right? We made it a campus, basically. And so that became more responsibilities again. So not only was I running the teams that put on the production, but also now we're trying to do online ministry and reach those people and care for those people. So it kind of just shows again that if you're faithful with God has given you, He'll give you more. And it all started back with that overhead projector slide. So maybe for you, your year or the last couple of years haven't looked exactly the way you thought it was going to be. Just like I never planned on volunteering to do overhead slides, or thought I'd go into this kind of ministry. But you still have the opportunity to use what's before you, what God has given you right now. And that might mean pivoting your thoughts into like, I want to go this way, but this is before me now. And just use what God has given you and be faithful in that, and know that God is faithful and that He has a good plan for you. And He's going to take you through this to the other side. So one piece of advice for you is just use what you've got. Use what God has given you today.